is Darrin with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson, and today I've got 3 fun and easy riffs for you from John Mellencamp. So right now Guitar Control is giving away this really cool free chord chart. There's a link down in the description where you can download yours. Every chord you can ever need, all neatly compiled into one sheet, so you can download it, print it off, put a copy in your gig bag, put a copy where you practice, so just whatever situation you're in, you have any chord you can need at a glance, and it's free download. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at these. Alright, so the first one we're going to look at is the riff from Hurts So Good. So, the first thing we're going to want to do is take your first finger and just bar it like you're doing an A major chord. So the A string is open, and my first finger is barring the D string, G string, and B strings, all at the 2nd fret. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our middle finger and we're going to put it onto the 3rd fret of the B string, and our 3rd finger onto the 4th fret of the G string. So we hit the A string open for beat 1. 1, and then 2 and we're just playing just the B and the G string at this time. So we're going 2 and 3 and 2 and 3, and then on the end of 3 we're going to lift those 2 fingers off. So we're just barring the 2nd fret here of those 2 strings. So you got the 1, 2, and 3 and. Then for the downbeat of 4 is a mute, and the and of 4 is just the open A string again. So that's the first measure. Then starting on the 2nd measure, beat number 1, we have a quarter note. We're still got our finger barred here, and now we're going to take our 3rd finger and we're going to put it so it's on the 4th fret of the D string. And then play that in the G string, which is the 2nd fret is being picked up by that 1st finger. So that's 1, 2, and. So on the downbeat of 2, we hit the open A string. The and of 2, we hit just an A5. And that is coming in on the and of 2, and it's a quarter note, so it rings out for the downbeat of 3. So it's like and 3, and 4, and. So on the and of 3, we hit the open low E string. The downbeat of 4 is the 2nd fret, and the and of 4 is the open A string, and then the whole thing would just repeat. So you go. Alright, so the next one we're going to look at is the riff from Jack and Diane. So this is made up of just a bunch of the triad shapes that if you've done any of the lessons I've done with triads, these are all going to be shapes that you've done before. And a couple of them are shapes that you've done even if you haven't studied triads. So the first one here, we've got this A over C sharp. So I'm just going to take my first finger and just bar the 2nd, the 5th fret of the B and the high E string. And then my 2nd finger is going to go onto the 6th fret of the G string. So we hit this, and we're just playing just these first 3 strings. So we hit this on the downbeat of 1, and then on the and of 1, we take our pinky and put it onto the 7th fret of the high E string. So it's 1 and 2. On the downbeat of 2, we rest. And now we're going to go to an E over B. So this is a shape that you have seen before. So if you take your regular D chord, but we just move it up a whole step. So our first finger's on the 4th fret of the G string, 3rd finger's on the 5th fret of the B string, and 2nd finger's on the 4th fret of the high E. So we've got. Now we hit that on the and of 2, and the downbeat of 3. So it's like and 3, and 4, and a mute strum. Now we hit that mute strum. Now we're going to come down to the D, where we normally would do it for the downbeat of 1. 1, and, or 1 E and then a mute. So it's kind of a thing you have to kind of get to where you just kind of feel it out. Da, 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 da. Now we hit that mute, or strum, mute, strum, mute, and then we're going to move back up a whole step with that D shape still. Hit that, and now we're going to take our pinky and pick up the 5th fret of the high E, like if you were doing like a D suspended 4, but in this case it's actually E suspended 4. And then back to that regular D shape, E over B technically, and then 2 mutes, and then we'd go on to the next measure. So that's our first 2 measures. So that 3rd measure is basically the same as the 1st measure. Then on the 4th measure, we come down to the D shape, mute, up a whole step for the E over B, and then a mute, and then that first chord shape again. And then 2 mutes to finish it off, and then that whole thing with those 4 measures just repeat. Alright, and then the last one we're going to look at is ROCK in the USA. This is really easy because it's 99% of the song is just these 3 chords, E major, A major, and D major, and then it does have a B in it for one part. It's not on the tab, but I'll show you what it is. It's pretty simple. So for this, you've got E, we're starting on E, and this is a quarter note, and then 2 eighth notes. So 1, 2, and then we switch to an A, 3 and 4 and. So. Now starting on the 2nd measure, we go to D, 1 and 2, and then on the and of 2, we go back to A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's the chorus, but on the verse he just does the same thing. He's just play a little softer. The strum can be a little bit different. Before it goes into the chorus, they're doing that. So when he gets to the A, instead of repeating, he goes to a B. 1, 2, rockin' in the USA. Doesn't really get much easier than that. Alright, so there you have it. 3 fun, not too terribly difficult riffs to play from John Mellencamp. So if you like this lesson, be sure to give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this or other guitar-related topics. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Well, that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.